Everything is going to be okay. Whatever struggles you're going through today, tomorrow, anything that weighs you down, really affects your aura field, your vibration, makes you feel lesser than what you would want to be at, happy, you just gotta let it go, man, because at the end of the day, there's gonna be shit that we have to deal with in life. There's gonna be accidents, there's gonna be slip-ups, there's gonna be unfortunate events. There's going to be things where we just have to adapt, move past, and start over again. Or just keep going, because like you always hear, that's life, man. But to amplify and to make the most out of those hard times, what I like to do, sorry I had a low power percentage, but what I like to do is to have it as a reminder to be happy and grateful. Because in duality, right, we're always going to have good times, we're always going to have shitty times. But honestly, you should enjoy the trials, the hard times, because what makes something so bright? What makes that sun shine bright? It's the other side. It's the other side that allows it to be shining, to be seen. If all the stars in the sky didn't have a black background, it didn't have a little bit emptiness, a little bit of darkness, it wouldn't be seen. It wouldn't be what it is. The duality of life that we get to live in. Black and white. Balance. Yin yang. And without those hard times, the happiness, the good times, the joy, it would not be a thing. Just like with failure and success. You got to soak it in and become one with it. If you want to have higher highs, you gotta have lower downs, man. But like, it's not even that you need to make it worse than what it's already at. You know, I'm not saying that. Don't get into coping bad habits or trying to resist it. That's what will make it go down worse, okay? But what you want to do instead is amplify it. Feel it. Be one with it. If you need to cry, cry. Get your feelings out, man. Like, it's okay. But if you can be part of the low vibration, you're going to be way more part of the high vibration. Because think about it. If you have to disassociate and not be here consciously when things aren't the best, then what? Are you just magically going to be more conscious when things are getting better? No, you're going to have that form of disassociation. You need to be able to soak in the hard times. So when you're up here, you're really up here because you remember what it feels like to be down here, man. And that can apply in so many different ways. But to talk about failure and success specifically, just to give you a bit more of an idea of what I'm talking about. Yes, plain and simply, duality regarding about how it's going to be okay, man. But if you fail, right? If you don't soak it in, if you don't remember what it was like to be embarrassed, the humility, the regret, the non-success, like that feeling of eating shit, of not doing your best your first time, your 10th try, whatever, messing up and making a mistake, if you don't remember, one, to learn from it, and two, to stay the fuck away from it, you're not gonna grow. Like many successful people say, the birth of success is failure. The mother of success is failure. You have to fail sometimes. You have to fucking miss your step, eat shit. You have to be humiliated sometimes. And it's not that you have to, but it's part of the process. And honestly, you do have to, because it's going to happen no matter what. And by not accepting it, and that's what I mean when I say have to, if you don't accept the fucking pain, and if you're not having that feeling of regret, shame, or like disliking the shit out of failure and like learning from it, and you just forget it all, then what the fuck did you experience it for? Exactly. There's no lesson learned. You're just going to make the same mistake again, and you're not going to want to stay away from it. If you can remember the time that you accidentally got back into a bad habit leading of events from making one simple choice, if you can't soak that in and really embrace it and feel the shame and guilt, then you're not going to remember to not make that one simple choice that led to that domino effect to you going back to your low vibration. Like with me, to be even more specific regarding that, when I smoked weed one time, I got back into eating poisonous fast food, touching myself and staring at a non-existent energy source, a screen, watching anime when it had nothing to do with me. I lost my purpose, I lost my way, and it was all because I smoked weed. Not saying that weed's terribly bad. My mind is associated weed with low vibrational things because that's what I did when I smoked weed. It also really depends on the person. For me, right now, there's many reasons that could apply to it, but just to throw some word in so you can understand my mind when I say that is it's weed's not good for me right now, okay? But anyways, because I accepted that, I realized that, and I was like, oh shit, bro, that mistake led to this low vibration of myself. I felt the shame, I felt the discomfort, and I accepted it and I soaked it in, and it really sucked for a long time. But I embraced it, I remembered it, and I will not make that mistake again. And I haven't. I've been doing great regarding that, and same with other aspects in life. And it's not only from our mistakes or our failure, but to add a little bit more with failure and success, if you're able to get back up, you're not going to go back down as easy because you remember what it was like being down here, going down from when you're up here, and you remember how you did it. So one, you don't want to feel that emotion again, and two, you learned your lesson from not doing the actions that lead to the mistake or to the situation that you do not want to exist in. Now to lead into other topics in ways that you should accept and have to accept the dark side of things and realize at the end of the day it's going to be okay, but actually amplify that dark side. Like if you lose something or something's taken from you, it's like out of your control. You had no control over it. You did your best. There might be some lessons learned, but it's not on you. It's just a matter of the universe, and it sucks, man. Like when I lost my father, or I lost a whole fucking album of music, or like I had really bad times and experiences in my childhood, many different things I can list, but at the end of the day, what I did made it useful, made it have a purpose, and made it actually not be in vain. And that's what most people do, is they miss that mistake, that they let the darkness in their life actually stay dark, be dark, and have a dark impact on you. When instead you should amplify it, use it, and make it a positive thing and a positive outcome by actually using the dark side of the universe, man. Because one, from my father passing, it showed me gratitude. It also taught me the idea of what I'm talking about, duality and many other things. But to be specific on that certain topic, I got taught that I'm only so sad now because I was so happy back then, back in the day when I was with my father. And that taught me that I need to be grateful. I need to make the most out of people's presence and their time, my own time, and to really just soak in everything, because from that pain, I learned lessons. From that pain, I'll be really enjoying memories with my friends and family members that I know someday I'm not going to see again, because I experienced losing my father and having that regret of not really soaking in my time with him and really being there and present with my family and my friends. So when they're gone, I can be like, damn, I really learned a lot. I really had a good time. And to really love more. Like when I have that opportunity with people to give them my full attention, to give them my full heart, when when it's right to and it's appropriate. Really depends, but majority of the time I'm giving them all I can, man, because I want to love as hard as I can. So, you know, I'll hurt more, but that just makes life more beautiful. And most people like close off, especially with death, because they see it as, oh, I don't want to get hurt, or I don't want to be in a relationship again, depending on whatever relationship, especially with a significant other. They don't want to be in that relationship again because they got hurt. And instead of learning to really love as hard as you can, so when you do get hurt, you can be like, damn, it is what it is, but at least I lived as hard as I could, right? You know what I mean? And that just comes back to duality in the whole picture. And to be a little bit more specific on love, and I hope that this can help you. Yeah, to like really love harder, because someday, yeah, you're not gonna see them again, and not everything lasts forever. Maybe some soulmate shit, but you never know, bro. So I highly suggest to you to fully be present, to fully give them your attention, fully give them love, man. And don't hide away if you get hurt, because you know there's gonna be someone else out there to love again. Just love them even harder this time, so you can have more memories and lessons learned with that person. So when they're gone, you can just remember that. Remember you did your best with them, and it can really feel good in a way. I see death as a blessing. I see death as a renewal of the mind, a refreshment of gratitude, and that can also be said to a new place. But to get on to other topics, instead of rejecting the darkness, and just like I said, closing your heart off if you lose someone or a significant other, instead let it open and rebuild a new heart and a new form of gratitude, to really love as hard as you can and be more grateful and more present when you have someone else around, especially a significant other. Is to love more and to be okay to get hurt, because that's just part of life, man. And if you reject that darkness all the time, then you're going to be in a form rejecting the light, because if you're not fully present with the hard times and the darkness, man, when that good time comes around, it's not really going to be as bright as you remember it, or as bright as it should be, because you don't remember what it's like to not be happy. So how do you know what happiness is if you don't know what sadness is? So stop rejecting. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. Okay, I'll repeat that before I keep going. If you do not know what sadness is, how are you going to know what happiness is? It's like you have a green apple, you have a red apple. You close your eyes every time you have this green apple, to where you don't even, and you like try and wash out the flavoring, you ignore the feeling of it when you eat a green apple, and then when you eat that red one, you try soaking it in, but you're like, oh, it just kind of tastes like a normal apple. You know, it might be a little bit here set there because you still experience the pain in some form and it's still in your subconscious, but it's not going to be the same, man. Live as hard as you can on the dark side and live as hard as you can on the light side, man. But when I say that, I mean to embrace the pain in a positive way. Don't make it worse than it already is, but see it as a gift, as a lesson learned, and see it as a new point for rebirth and growth, like with an ego death or anything of such that really hurts or is painful, or isolation like I'm going through right now. I'm taking it as gratitude, because I know someday I'm going to be surrounded by all sorts of loving people. I'm going to have a family of my own, soul family. I'm going to be more connected with my actual blood family. I'm going to be so abundant and happy and attract so many people, man. But right now, I know I'm in my isolation, so I'm going to soak this shit in. Even though majority of my life has been isolation, I know there's a lesson to be learned. I know it will amplify the fuck out of my time when I have so much company, bro. And that's the beauty of life. If you can really soak in those hard times, the darkness of the universe, then that fucking light's going to shine so much brighter. And we need that darkness to see the light. So know that it's okay. And I just really got in depth on duality, but I want to get back to my main point. You will be okay. No matter what you're going through, no matter how hard it gets, what's going to come in the future, you will always have a brighter day. You will always have a brighter opportunity, and you will always have good things to come your way. And people to meet, places to be, just absolute abundance for the future. But you gotta be okay when it's not easy, when it's hard, when you're struggling, when you're really on that path and journey like me right now. I don't have no validation and recognition besides myself, my Father up above, just believing my path, my purpose, and staying fluid to it. I literally get no views on these videos, but I know someday in the future people are gonna look back at this and be like, damn, he believed when no one else did. He was on his path when no one else was watching him. He stayed strong in those dark times, and he actually used it. He used it to see that torch he's holding up for himself more. If I didn't have that darkness around me, I wouldn't see the light inside of me. If I didn't have low vibrational people around me, I would not see how bright I shine. If I did not have hard times, I would not have good ones. And that's just part of life, man. But my best advice to you is to stay strong in those hard times and know that it's a time to learn. It's a time to rebirth, a time to grow, and a time to become a better version of you. Level up, baby. You know what I mean? When it's hard, that's when you grow. And just like you also heard before, you ask for God to make you stronger, to make you smarter, to make you more adaptable, and to make your dreams come true. He's going to put you through hard times so you can be that better version of yourself, so you can fulfill that, and so you can be that person you want to be through that struggle, through that growing through the rocks, man. It will make you more successful and ready for any obstacle to come in the future than you can imagine. And the future is going to be way more bright than you can imagine, especially when you soak in the hard times, when you use the hard times, and when you fully embrace and make the most out of it. Learn the most you can, grow the most you can, and soak in that pain. So when that happiness, that sunshine, the rainbow comes up from the rain, the silver lining, it'll be more bright than you can imagine. You can take my word for that. I love y'all, and I hope that can motivate you. And if you're in a hard time, man, know it's going to be okay. It's only so hard right now because it was so good in the past. That's how we form our sense of emotion, and reality is comparison. Good, bad, light, dark. So be okay with it, man. It's all meant to be. And it's called duality. I love you. Hope you love me. The words I speak, let it go through your life for an eternity. And don't keep consuming. Just listen to this one video and call it good for the day. Okay? We don't need to keep consuming. We just need to have a few messages in our mind and really apply it and adapt it to ourselves throughout the day, so it can be a new part of our character for the next day to come, for the life in the future, and for the best version of you. As Coley Boy though, I love y'all. Have a great night. I hope that helps you. Stay strong out there, and know it's gonna be okay. Alright? If I could give you a hug, I would. I love you. So, have a good night. Yo, Coley Boy. Peace.